Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing my January junk planner. This is something I probably should have done before January started, but I was having way too much fun working in it, and yeah, I wanted to get some of it done, but yeah, I really started working on this thing and just having so much fun. So let me talk about the cover real quick. This is one of those ribbons that you get that's wrapped around, say, pillowcases, a blanket that you buy, at Marshall's or at a department store or whatever. Sometimes they'll have these kinds of things, and I save them, and it made a perfect tie. This actually is a dish towel from Walmart, and I just loved the colors. I had purchased it for a different project, but it ended up being perfect for this. This is a journal that I've had for quite a while. And I had to take some of the pages out because look what we're doing already. Yeah. But, before I put it together, I put this on the inside. This was going to be the outside cover, but I wanted to still see some of it. So yeah, I thought that was super cute. The theme, which I like themes. They just make me happy because then it's kind of easier for me to gather my supplies and, kind of maybe think outside the box a little bit. But the theme is like office supplies. Now it kind of morphed a little bit. I had a lot of grid and lines and office supply type ephemera in here, and it was just looking a little dry. And so I purchased some cute shabby chic floral paper digitals on Etsy, and that kind of, it added a little color, a little depth, and so yeah, really happy about that. So let's start and I want to say something real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and put timestamps in, because I'm going to do the intro, then I'm going to do the flip through, and then I'm going to have the project at the end, and hopefully that won't take too long, but it'd be nice if this wasn't a super long video this time. So here we go. So here's my index, my calendar, my dashboard with my reminders, and the decor. This is something that I started doing. I've mentioned before, I have a bunch of Workbasket vintage magazines. They're about this size, actually. I bought them for like $0.10 a piece at the thrift store. So I grabbed some of the ads out of the back and made focal points. What I did was I adhered these to file folders, and then cut them out and then distress the sides of them. I'm going to recommend that you do it on cardstock and not file folders, because the file folders really kind of tore up, and I'm not really happy with the way they tore up. It just kind of got fuzzy. So yeah. So this is what I've been doing for the past couple of weeks, is playing in my new journal. Planner journal, yeah, and decorating. And so I'm going to talk about some of the elements, which are, of course, what I just talked about, the focal point. Here is some like office supply type forms, dictionary pages, and that cute Calico. Shabby chic Calico. And then I have quite a bit of this left over from Christmas, and so I put that in there, and I need to remember to use this more often in here because I just absolutely love the way that looks. The other parts are, I decided that I wanted to add a little bit of fodder, just art, little painted, stamped, stenciled little pieces to add to the pages to just give it a little bit of depth. Like I said, I've been playing around. I started out with just the office supply stuff. It was a little dry. Added the florals. Still, I loved it, but it just kind of lacked something. And I've been having so much fun watching other people working in their journals. And I was just so inspired by some of my favorite creators that are starting to use, they're using fodder in their page spreads more and more. It just adds so much to it. And then lastly, well, I also have been making these little tag things, just distressing them a little bit. Yeah. But also tape. So I'm thinking about maybe doing a little tutorial on how I do my personal washi tape, like this here. This one right here, as you can see here, that's from my work basket magazine. This right here is just a bunch of stuff that I put together. I'll go through that when I decide to do the tutorial. But yeah, just thought I'd point out a couple of the features. Another thing is, this is some washi. These are washi sheets that I bought years and years ago at Michael's, and I'm trying to use them up. So got some of those in there too. So lots of layers. One of the things that I tried to do, because I knew that I was going to have a lot of tags and stuff because it is a planner, I wanted to keep my clusters kind of flat. Instead of doing clusters, I wanted to do I keep wanting to say decoupage, collage, sorry. I want to do collage and kind of keep it a little bit, you know, a little bit flatter, because yeah, look at, we're already out of control here. I love every time I open this page up and I see these flowers and all this, I just absolutely love this page. This is just a masterboard that I cut into a tag, and then a piece of paper, a little bit of tissue in the background, and a piece of tape. That's all it is. And I just absolutely love it. The simplicity. A cluster I made when I first started doing this. This is from an old vintage book from the thrift store. Some ticking. I also thought just some fabric. I just love the digital fabric in my journals. And so a little bit of, you know, that's some ticking. I'll put a link to that shop and the shop to the Calico Shabby Chic in the description. But yeah, just some elements, a belly band with just a simple belly band from a masterboard, something left over from my mom back in the day when she did a lot of sewing, and a vintage postage stamp, and then a little journaling card, a journaling spot, a coin envelope made from some junk mail, cluster, a tag. All of these are actually designated from my index. So I have a plan for this. This is, you know, this is my journaling. This opens up like that, which I think is super cute. And then I have a little tuck spot there. So yeah. This is from one of the first journals I ever made. Love that. And I just added this little piece of some fodder just to kind of break it up. Way back, I actually did some journaling on here, and then I covered it with some pattern tissue. So it's kind of funny to see that. This is actually from a index journal I made years and years ago. A little tuck spot. And this is something I started doing, is a lot of times I'll have the very thin pieces of paper left over, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to just sew on some scraps, because using glue on fabric, unless you're using Fabri-Tac, it's kind of a pain. So having paper on the backs of the fabric it's just kind of a game changer. On this one, I had to use double-sided tape because I was putting it over this washi, but usually I can just glue it right on. All right, so another tag, tuck spot. And this is one of my favorite pages. So this is an example of one of the focal points that I made from my vintage magazine, and I just love that it's about shorthand. It's in my journal that's kind of office themed. I think the whole thing just went together so well. And this is some washi. Well, I scanned some of my blue chip stamps, and then I printed it up on label paper. And okay. Just a collage. And this is kind of the route I'm going to probably go in going forward, as much, you know, I'll play around a little bit, but just kind of keeping it simple and fun. Belly band, journaling card, coin pocket. I don't know where I got these. I think I got them en masse in, I don't know, like Michael's or something, maybe in the dollar bins. little decoration. I could have made this into a tuck spot or a pocket, but I don't know. I think I was like, I have enough of those. We're getting kind of thick. I love this one. They're both enjoying this quilt that she made, and it's an ad for the layer built batting. Good housekeeping seal of approval. That's so cute. I love it. Just a simple collage. A place for me to do some decorating. Another card from the index card journal that I made years and years ago. I just added some of the corrugated paper there and a postage stamp of Charlie Chaplin. Yeah, love that. Another opportunity to decorate. Another tag. Another focal point from my magazine. Need to decorate that. Another card from my index card journal. Another one. I have a stack of these, and so having a place to put all these is just making me super happy, because it was just kind of a weird shape to, and I didn't have any journaling in it, so this is a great way to use it. And I'll tell you something, this is how this went down. They were double-sided. This journal was double-sided because of the index card. And what I did was I actually pulled, because it was all collaged on one side and the other side, I managed to be able to pull them apart and then just add paper to the back of them and turn them into cards. It worked out beautifully. It was so cool, because now I'm not, now I get two sides and I get to use them, and makes me super happy. An opportunity to decorate there. Just kind of a simple collage. This is something I really love. Let me take these guys out real quick. So I did this a little bit like my video that I made, my Christmas video, where I used window envelopes, just as a, kind of a, where you can see to the back of it, where you can see behind the window. And I just love that king mouse and that kitty cat having a conversation there. And so I put that on there because I love that. I just love that page. And I turned it into a pocket by adding a little bit of digital paper and just a simple collage. And so I'm really looking forward to whatever I'm going to be doing with that as far as journaling or whatever. But I thought that came out super cute. And you can still see the illustration in the background, but it's decorated. Works for me. All right, so I don't have too much else going on in this journal. So let me talk a little bit about my project that I want to work on today. It is, let me show you. So I was kind of bopping through this morning, and because I get my planner out every morning because there are certain things, on my list of to-dos that I need to pay attention to. And I saw this pocket, and I had planned on making a video on how I make these anyway. And I thought today would be a great day for me to talk a little bit about my latest obsession of making snippet rolls. So let me show you what I need. Packing tape, paper packing tape, and a box full of goodies. Okay. So this one is, I think it's 1/2 inch. Is this 1 inch? Yeah. Let's hold on. I thought it was 1 inch, but oh, it looks like 1/2 inch. Okay. And this is supposed to be 2. And oh yeah, this one, these are supposed to be 1. Okay. So let me talk a little bit about this tape. Oh, before I take the packaging off, let me show you. It's called Emporium Packing Tape. I get this from Amazon, and I'll put a link in the description. So let's talk about it real quick. So I purchased this one from Walmart. It's Easy Tear. I don't like it. It's okay. It'll, if you don't have, any other options, it's okay. But this stuff is great. See how this is shiny on here? I didn't realize that when I purchased it. And this one is like regular craft. It's nice and, dull, I guess you could say, or matte. And the stickum on this is awesome. I absolutely love it. I will be using this up, but I'm just kind of comparing and recommending that you, when you buy your tape, if you look for something with a little bit more matte instead of this shiny stuff. All right, enough of that. So what I'm going to do is I need to make a choice about what size I want. Yeah, I'm going to go with the 2-inch. And so one of the things I do is I look for here. It's kind of nice to have a bowl to put it in so that when you're pulling on it, it doesn't roll onto the floor and get vacuum your floor of any dog hair or pieces of lint or paper, which I've done several times. So here I want to show the one in my journal real quick. I want to point out a few things about it. Let me take this out and see if you can see a little bit better. So this actually, I have a bunch that I've made that I just used regular paper on. This one was just a bunch of stuff that was left over on my desk. And this I added later, of course, but all of these little pieces were leftovers on my desk. This is from a sewing pattern. Here's some wallpaper, a dictionary page, a little bit of kind of a fodder piece, just a little pile that I had. And I ended up loving that more than the ones that I kind of sort of planned, right? So I thought it would be kind of fun to throw some of this stuff on there. Are these pieces going to be small enough? I don't know. I'm going to grab my smaller one. So one of the things that I purchased for myself for Christmas is a box of these tins, which I absolutely love. And then I covered it with my vintage magazine stuff. But this is my my vintage tape or whatever, my age tape. Oh, and here's the little pieces I was going to look for. And these right here, little fodder bits. Maybe I'll add some tape. This is my word of the year. I can talk about that another day. I might put some postage stamps on there. Let's see, what else do we have in here? Yeah, that'll do it. All right. Now the first thing I want to do is just grab some regular paper. I kind of wanted to mimic that one by using smaller pieces. But we'll see how far we get on that. So one of the things that I like to do also is you can go out a bit and make these wider, which I've done. Or as a matter of fact, I think I'll grab I'm going to put this away, and I'm going to show you the snippet rolls I've already made just to give you an idea. So let me show you. These are some pieces that were left over. Let me show you a few. This one right here. Oh, this one was really cute. So this one was some of my tiny little pieces of this one particular just scraps that look like fabric. And so I put it on the 1/2 inch on there, and then I used my my scalloped scissors to give it a cute little edge. And then this one right here, I love this one. I had a bunch of containers, several containers of just pieces of tissue. And so I used, let me see if I can get this off of here without tearing it up. There. So this is all just tissue. I just love it. I think in some of them I put upside down so it muted the color a little bit. But yeah, I thought that came out super cute. And what a great way to use up just containers of stuff I have. I've just got so much, right? Let's see, what else do we have in here? Oh, the hair. Just random. That one's just random. That one's not so much. This one I really liked. It's kind of wide. It's wide in some areas and not in others, but I realize that sometimes I have a little bit of this happening where it's loose, but depending on the project that I'm going to use it on, I'm not going to spend a lot of time gluing all that down when it's not necessary. So that's just another one of paper. But then there was this one. Oh, this is one that I cut on the edges because I wanted some to be kind of ratty or rough on the edges and some of them to be smooth. And I really like the way that one turned out. But this one I thought was super cute. I want to have this one out because I'm going to use this for my February planner. This one came out cute. Let me try to get this off of there. So I had a bunch of these small pieces of doily that I was going to make a bunch of clusters out of. It didn't really work out. I just kind of got, sometimes you start something, you're like, this is not going where I want it to go, right? But I don't want to throw it away because, I might use it. I need to make kind of a little bit of an addendum on that. I've tossed away, given away so many, recycled so much over the years that I'll watch a video and somebody will use what I got rid of. And I would go, oh my gosh, darn, I wish I had that again. So I've stopped doing that as much. I tried to keep things to see if I can come up with an idea. And I did. And I think this is going to look super cute in my February junk planner. So you might be asking yourself, how, see, well, that's still a little bit sticky right there. But what I did was I took a tissue. Let me grab one. So I grabbed a tissue and I just pressed on it a little bit. And any of those sticky parts will grab that tissue. And then if there's anything on there left over that you want to kind of take off of there, or you can just leave it, it works really, really well to get a lot of the stickum off of this particular type of doily snippet roll. Now, I understand that there might be other creators that have already done these projects and you may have seen them before, but I haven't. I haven't seen anybody else do this, so it's new to me, if you know what I mean. So the rest of these are just, this one's all like vintage papers. They all kind of have a theme, so I think we pretty much covered the whole idea here. So let's get started on the scrappy one. Okay, so the reason why I like this project so much is because, I'll grab a chair here, is because making snippet rolls with glue gets to be a bit much. It's a lot of mess, to be honest with you, and this is just faster. It doesn't have to dry, and it's cleaner. So I want to make a kind of a smaller one, like the one I made in that journal. And what I try to do when I'm making these is I try to put the torn side down, so that when I'm layering, I'm layering on the straight side and I don't have to keep tearing, if you know what I mean. So I like the look of the torn, that you can see the torn piece. I'm not covering it up. So I don't know if I'm going to fast forward this or not, because it's pretty straightforward. There's really no reason for me to have to explain all the different parts. So I think I'll try that. The funny thing is that if you don't like something that you've put on here, you can always cover it up, right? I think I'm going to try to have this a little bit closer to my face. I'm not used to making videos where I'm sitting down, so this is kind of new for me. It's kind of fun. right. I don't want to put too much of this down first. I need some, what do I do with the one? So I have these right here, my fodder. Okay, because I'm probably, what my goal is to make this into a cluster for my January planner. So I went ahead and grabbed some more of the paper that I've already used. I have more though. I'm gonna go grab it. Some of this is super cute. I know they're not in small pieces, but I can, you know, I'll cut them up or tear them up. So I like this one. It's got small flowers. That'll work. This is one of my favorites from that ticking group. And then let me see. There's a little bit of red, but I like that red better. So let's use those. And maybe a little bit of that. So the idea actually is to use up your scraps, but I've been using up my scraps, so I'm kind of running out of scraps. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this because I actually do want to make a cluster for my journal, and that might take a little bit of time, and I don't like my my videos have been running really long lately, and I don't mind it as much, but it's kind of hard to edit long videos, so I try to keep them at a minimum. And then, you know, some people don't like to watch long videos, so I'm gonna just keep going. I'm gonna fast forward, I'll put in some music, and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to point out just a couple of things. I think that's long enough for today. And the thing is that you can actually adhere this to make it longer if you want to. It's not a problem. But I want to go ahead and get started on my other project for this video. So I want to point something out. So you probably noticed that when I put the Kleenex on top of this, I went up higher, so I picked out some tissue. I thought the tissue would adhere to that, but also, you know, a little bit better, since even though it has a little bit of tissue on there. So I'm just going to add I'll probably dab some, you know, either I'll crunch this up. I wish I could finish a sentence too. Either I'll crunch this up like that, or I'll add some glue to it. But I don't know if you noticed or not, when I tried to pull off one of the pieces of paper, it was not going to come off. I mean, it will if you really try, but yeah, you really do have to try to get these papers off of that tape. That tape is so sticky and awesome. So I'm gonna grab my journal and see what page I want to add a cluster to. All right, let's look for a page. So this is something that I used to do in my planners, is just put a binder clip on there, and then you have a pen holder. So I got tired of looking for a pen, so I decided that this was a good place to do that. Wonder if this would be a good page. This is from a Chinese, a tourist book for China. Most of China. So hopefully that there's nothing strange in there, but it's a travel book. I doubt if they put anything weird in there. Let's see. Because the reason why I'm picking this page is because I really like this Asian writing in the background, and I haven't wanted to cover that up too much. So something right down the middle I think would be perfect. So let me see which one I like the best. That's pretty. I really like that. I don't know why. It's just this paper right here. So just tear it. Yeah, okay. So let's look for some stuff that we can add to this for a cluster. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the page and then add on top, instead of building the clusters like I usually do. All right, so I'm going to look for some stuff. I kind of would like it to come out just a little bit, but yeah. But already that's such a nice start. All right, well, this is my little bag of planner stuff. So my scissors, my clips, my tape, all the things. And the focal points, I added some more new ones here. So I'll grab those. I don't know, does it need a goat? It might need a goat. Let's see. I don't think I need that one. Tags. Oh, here. Might need some tickets. Okay. Let's see. I think that does it for that. Oh, what's that? Oh, and postage stamps, which I already have some out, but... Oh, look, a weasel. Oh my gosh. No, an otter. Is that an otter? Oh, cute. That might go on there. Maybe the goat and the otter. Oh, wouldn't that be cute? Let's try it. How cute is that? Everybody should have a goat in their front yard. Look at that. Little picket fence. Oh, I have a bunch of these. I got them from somebody that I used to work with. They were her family photos. And apparently a branch of her family absolutely loved their goat. There are so many pictures of this goat. I love him. He's cute. And look, it brings it out just a little bit, but it doesn't cover. So I think that is definitely a winner. Okay. Sit that there. Loving the otter. Loving the whole animal vibe going here. Let's see. I'm going to keep those out. Let's see what we can do. I don't know if I want to mat him or just stick him on there. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to forego overthinking this and just get him on there. like I said in my last video, I do better if I just throw caution to the wind and just throw things on. I don't know if I want that underneath there or not, though. That was kind of cool, actually. Let's get that up. Yeah, let's tuck that. Cute. Love that. Okay. I didn't get the glue all the way to the edges of this, so it's going to curl up. Let's see, where can Otter go? Oh, or maybe up here. Oh my gosh. I like the idea of pulling the color into this direction. You know what though? I think I'm going to go ahead and tape, because these are going to curl. Let me grab my tape. What Margaret calls boo-boo tape. Some of this is actually her boo-boo tape. And some of it is from a digital that I've been using for a while now. Okay. So I'm really enjoying using a lot of grungy and distressed stuff now, especially with my super colorful journals and ephemera. But leaving this white so that there's a contrast there, I'm going to try to do that more often, not worry so much about inking the edges of everything I use. It can be a bit much. There. I know I'm going to cover that up, but I needed that to be adhered down. Oh, cute. I'm just in love with him. Oh my gosh. Or her. Them. How cute. Oh my gosh, that is so adorable. Okay, you know what? I don't feel like I need to add too many more things to this cluster. Like I said, I'm trying to keep it simple because I don't, these are probably, some of these are Tracy Fox and some of these are Junk Journal Shop. I'm pretty sure this is Junk Journal Shop. I'm not too sure about this color, so, but it's kind of cool how with this, you know, with this snippet roll, how you can tuck things in and around. And I'm going to shove this to the side and see if I have some different ones. All right, I'm in the mood for some color. These are cute. I don't remember, whose are these? I bought these digitals this year. It was supposed to be actually for this journal, but then I kind of went neutral, and now I'm adding color. So let's see if any of these will spark some interest. These are already distressed. I already inked the edges of them and got them ready to go, and then put them in a bag and didn't use them. So I wonder if something, I was hoping for something smaller than that. This is cute. Hold on. Just a 2? Kind of big. That one's small. These are super grungy, but I like the colors. Let's try this one. Oh, that one's kind of cute. I'll try that. Yeah, I think this one's just too big. Let's see if I skipped any in this little pile. A little too blue. There's this tiny, tiny one. Distressing that was not fun. But might be worth it because it might be super cute. All right, that's enough of that. Try not to make too much of a mess here because somebody does have to clean it up in the end. Let's see what's in here. some Tim Holtz stuff. Whoops. Kind of a funky little stamp. That might be nice. That might be cool. Yeah, I might use that. It's a, you know, Tim Holtz from one of his packs. From one of his, pretty sure it's Tim Holtz. It might not be, now that I think about it. Okay. I don't think those are going to work. This is that fabric roll sewn onto strips of paper that I was talking about. Let's see. Let's cut a piece of that off just in case. That might work. Alrighty. And then I saw this butterfly in my travels. And I thought, since it's only half a butterfly, that it might fit somewhere tucked in. I don't know. That's not working for me either. I liked this though. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that on. Make sure it's the right side up. Yep. This right here, I think can go there. See, if you sew it on the paper, you can just glue it on and you don't have that glue coming through on your fabric, making those weird splotchy pieces. Okay, so what do we have here? Do we want to use these? I mean, I feel like it needs something up here, but and I don't know why I'm being obsessed with pink, but pink keeps calling to me for some reason. Let's get that under there, see if we can, see if it makes sense. So you can lift up the fabric and put it under the fabric. Yeah, why not? I like it. Okay, well, I was thinking about making a video on this, but you know, this is just so basic that I'm just going to pop it in here real quick instead of making a whole video about it. So these are a bunch of ads that I cut out of my magazine, and I scanned them into my computer, and then when I printed them up on matte photo paper, I did 2 to a page so that it would shrink them down a little bit. And just want to show you a couple. Like here, this is about turning a fur coat into, make it so you can make a stole out of it. Some ads for geraniums and tulips, and I love this one right here. I've used that in this journal. And here's some ad for some fabric, and these run the gamut from like the 1950s up into the 70s. So something like that you can see by the illustration that this one's probably from the 70s. But yeah, so this is something that I've been doing. Of course, these are, you know, for personal use only. I won't be selling these because this is not my artwork. But let's see if we have one in here. Oh, and I also distressed them and inked them. And sometimes I'd fold them and then ink them again to kind of get, oh, head lettuce. I wonder if we should do the lettuce since goats like lettuce. Let's do that. But they also like flowers, so I want to make sure that it's small. So here, let's put this on here so I can throw them in. There's some begonias and geraniums. This is Hyponex plant food. We'll see if that'll. And then we have this wallet photos, smiling girly. That's cute. So those are small enough, I think, that won't overtake the overtake that ticket. Let's see. A little bit dark. I like the geraniums. Yeah, I like the geraniums. Okay, my issue right now is, though, is that I feel as if we've got a lot of pink and then there's no green. So after all of that, I'm thinking that I need to put something green up there after all, because I just didn't like that. Ooh, see? That's kind of cute. What about this? This is a little understated and does have a little bit of green in it. Maybe that would work. Yeah, we'll do that. Whoops. All right. I know after all of that, but still, sometimes you've got to get that stuff on there and take a look at it and see if it works for you, if it's what you want to do, before you paste it on there, if you know what I mean. I don't know which... Because this is in Russian, some of these. Oh, well. I don't think anybody's going to notice. I wanted this color down at the bottom a little bit. There. Let's see. Put it in a little bit. There. And I'm thinking I want a little something on here, even though I just got through covering a doodle. Maybe just a little. Now I think I might ink this one. Give it a little contrast. All right, let that dry. I'm going to clean up and then I'll meet you on the other side. Okay, so I've squished it in. Let's take a look at it. All right, I think it came out cute. I like it. I get to see the paper in the background that I really wanted to not cover. I think that using, I mean, it's just kind of an instant, it's an instant background. Like I said, I made those bigger ones. It would have covered a whole page. I could cover this whole page with some of the ones that I've made where I go out a little bit more, but this is perfect for a cluster type thing, and I just love it. And this is also a great size for your traveler notebook size. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this this little mini tutorial, and I hope you liked my journal. At the end of the month, when I fill it, I may go ahead and do a flip through. I think I'll do that as a short. And yeah, there are a few smaller pieces of this journal that of my planner, my junk planners in general, that I'm going to just go ahead and I don't want to share all of the ways I put these together in one video. I kind of want to show pieces as I go through the year making them and seeing how things work out, because I've said this before, these are a little new to me. I'm still kind of navigating myself through how I make them and what I include. So I'll just kind of share those kinds of things throughout the year. So yeah, well, as always, thank you so much for watching my video. If you made it to the end, I appreciate that. That's super sweet. And I want you to have a great week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.